Helen, I see that you're with us. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Good morning, Silja. Thank you so much for that introduction. And I'm very glad to be with you this morning in Tallinn. And even if it's only virtual, it seems to be working very fine. And I see you all in the room. I see you're already awake and had your coffee and ready to engage in this morning session with the whole Smart Communities Network in Tallinn and also across Europe that we have engaged to the work we do in the European Commission. So my name is Helen Köpman. I'm Deputy Head of Unit in the unit called AI for Societal Good in the European Commission. I'm also here with my colleague Maja Fjestad, who will listen in and engage in the communities networks coming forward. We have done this across Europe in a different setting with the help of our stakeholders, Serendipity and others. And we're really pleased to be able to do this because it's important to reach out and tell people what we actually are doing to support smart communities. It's not so easy always to find your way in the wealth of information and support that is available on European level. So I think this is one of the purposes this morning, to make you a little bit more aware of what is there and what can be useful for you. So I have prepared a little presentation that I would like to share with you. So it's just to have a little bit of support for what I'm talking about. And as I said, this is all about enabling smart communities and supporting the ecosystems and also then showing a little bit about what kind of support and funding we have on EU level. But why we should perhaps remind ourselves also why we're doing all this is because obviously the quality of life in our cities all depends on better public services. And we want to see what advanced technologies and digital technology in particular can do to improve the efficiency in the cities. And this is very much based on a data-driven approach, and we will hear a little bit more about that, but how we do about structuring and making data available as well in projects that yourself are engaged in. And then it's engagement with citizens, because the cities have learned that no project is really successful unless you engage with the citizens, actually make them co-owners of the projects, and then you will get better requirements and ensure a better success of your projects. And obviously also for the cities, all is this across Europe done to ensure a better growth environment for the cities and its industries and small and big around, so that we can have a better place to live and also create jobs in the future. So the work that we are doing here to help smart communities is really to address the challenges that you are aware of in your own cities, such as congestion. What do we do now? Sometimes you have rainfalls, or sometimes you don't have enough water. And how is this integrating in the whole water management system in the cities? Same with energy grids now, when we have a lot of new energy sources coming in. How is this all going to be supported through the energy grids? And those are questions that many cities across Europe have in common, that we hope that we can address with some of the support we are offering. So, but of course, this is a whole journey. The cities in Europe we have observed have many different levels of digital maturity. So you have to reach out and start from the very bottom and make sure this is inclusive, that we don't leave cities and communities behind and only focus on those that are very, very advanced digital and push them to another level. I think we need to make sure that everyone can have access to this. So this is really also why we are starting with tools, and you will hear a lot about this in the day to come, about increasing awareness. First of all, what kind of digital readiness do you have in a city, and how does that compare to other cities in Europe? Perhaps you can share best practices and learn from others' examples, and also improve your own learning and understanding of knowledge of what digital technology can do for cities. And then there are tools also to help position you there and what you need to do to increase your position in the transformation journey. It could be that you need to build up better digital infrastructures from the bottom. It could be that it's a problem with having data silos in different places in the city, or other issues that need to be addressed, and that can also be done through some of the support that we're offering. Creating digital transformation strategies and then actually addressing them with procuring different services that you need to achieve your strategy. And then finally, if you look at the third level of the sort of simplified journey, you come to more advanced tools. And here some cities are already, and they're looking at very advanced AI tools and how you can use them, as well as your structured data in the city to address these very more advanced problems. So here we have some examples of the tools that we are working with. Local digital twins, you will hear a lot more about this also in the presentation going forward. But just to depict a little bit that we actually are addressing all these different layers of digital transformation. And a few of the things that you will hear about is first, how to support cities in the digital transformation. We have tools called Lordimas, which is doing the digital maturity assessment, helping you understand your own strengths and weaknesses. We have the whole Smart Communities Network across Europe, of which you are one, and we're very happy to partner with to be able to reach out in Estonia. We have online procurement help desk. You will also hear about this. Is the help that you will have to look at how to procure services that addresses the improvements you need to be made, and also do that in a way that you avoid, for example, vendor lock-in, which could be a problem if you go for off-the-shelf solutions. Sometimes you need a mix of both. And we are helping you with tools that and templates that can help you there. We also have a local digital twin toolbox, and this whole seminar that we have today is part of the local digital twin toolbox project, because we realized that of course, if you build it, they will come sometimes, but not always. So you need to actually make people aware of what you're building. And this is one of the ways of doing it, reaching out to European cities and communities across the whole EU, making them aware of what is available in this toolbox and also other tools around it. And we do all this to advance our digital technology readiness and position in Europe, and in particular now on AI. As we know, this is a very fast train that is moving, and we need to jump on and be part of this revolution that is going on. We would like to make sure that Europe is part of it in a strong way, and to build and support and strengthen the ecosystem of very good innovators and entrepreneurs and industries we already have in Europe, make them stronger and make them find good clients in Europe. For example, cities that are interested in embarking on these sort of more advanced tools. Here is a picture that would show you a little bit on the ecosystem that we are building. So in the middle of here, you will see what we call LDT Cityverse EDIC. I think you will hear much more about this as Estonia is part of this Cityverse EDIC. So the EDIC is the European Digital Infrastructure Consortia. This initiative is a member state-driven initiative with cities. It's unique in that way that you have public-private partnership, both with the member states and the cities being part of the same. And here we would like to make this center of the hub of the ecosystem for local digital twins. And if you go around, you have the different tools right now. I mean, we are in the Smart Communities Network engagement event. Living in EU is a partner here, and all the networks around Europe, of which you are one. We have the European Data Spaces for Smart Communities, which is an initiative we have been driving through the Commission in my unit for a few years. So it's about structuring, finding out what data you have and how to structure that in a way that the digital tools can operate on it and make it available also for AI. We know that for artificial intelligence to really be effective, we need very good data, quality data, and this is not a simple task. And I know that we have participants here in today that are part of this network and also part of the project that is driving this network. This is providing opportunities for cities to engage in pilots that does this work. Then we have the LDT toolbox, which is the local digital twin toolbox, a set of tools, basic set of tools to start with that will enable cities to make their own digital twins that will address different challenges in the cities. We also have started recently in January 4 Cityverse project that is more focusing on the immersive technologies, so AI and VR, XR sort of approaches on adding that layer to the engagement with citizens. So all this should come together, both the data spaces for smart communities, the toolbox, and the Cityverse projects, working towards solutions that will enrich this ecosystem and enrich the Cityverse ethic with knowledge that then can be shared with other cities. There's also testing and experimentation facility here, Sitcom, in the picture, which is important to test before you actually deploy in large scale. So I mentioned the Cityverse ethic, and I will not go into too much detail because I know you have a dedicated presentation from the Estonia representative here. But why do we do this is really to create a more sustainable European digital infrastructure for local digital twins and commons. So sharing infrastructure and knowledge, which we know is quite expensive in this field, so that not every city has to build their own from scratch. And this will create economies of scale for everyone. By doing this together also, you will create this ecosystem and have different cities working with local digital twins in a networked approach, in a co-creation approach. And then you can also work with projects that are similar to each other. And here again, create a bit of economies of scales of maybe creating solutions that can be reused. So it is really going beyond the pure research activities, experiments, and pilots that we have been working very much in the past. This is about creating real solutions to real problems in cities. And by that, as I said, avoid repetition and enable more replicability of the solutions. We really want this ecosystem to support our innovators and entrepreneurs in Europe, small and big, and enable them to have a better community and marketplace that they can address their solutions with. The toolbox, I will not go into much detail. Maybe you also will have a bit more information about this, but a set of tools that cities can use to address their challenges and supporting, and importing their data from different sources, applying the AI algorithms on top of it, and then be able to simulate and visualize the use cases and scenarios that are optimizing your problem. We have been running this project now for more than a year, and we are in a kind of advanced stage now. In the beginning of next year, there will be a pilot program with hopefully 6 cities. Maybe Estonia will produce one of those cities that are part of the pilot program that will start in January. And then these first wave of cities will try the tools and make sure that they are fit for purpose. Just finally, I just want to mention one of the funding opportunities. If by the participants today or representatives, there are participants are more advanced and in local digital twin and solutions around here. We have had a call for cities that already have some sort of local digital twin to collaborate with other cities that have also local digital twins and create common solutions for common problems. this is a cascading project approach. So you will first put in place a consortium of participants that will enable some other calls that we call cascading calls. And those calls will tentatively be offered in November this year. So what are those calls about? They're about giving opportunity to cities that have local digital twins to pilot together with other cities around use cases and scenarios that are common, and help them in that way to collaborate. So this is really creating a bit more mature network of cities that have local digital twins, and all of this should be feeding back into the ecosystem we're creating, in particular the Cityverse EDIC. So, okay, I know this was a lot, but and fast perhaps, but all of this you will go through much more in detail during the day, and hopefully you can then interact more directly with the people presenting who are the experts of all of these things, and ask all the questions that you have around the support that is being offered, and make sure that you make use of this opportunity, because all we do here is really for you. So thank you so much for your attention. I think I will stop there and hand back to Sila.
Thank you so much, Helen, for this comprehensive overview of all the different initiatives that are actually out there for the smart communities around Europe. One can often get lost in all of those initiatives, so actually starting to understand how these are the kind of complementing layers to each other is really important. So hopefully also throughout today's event, we can support reaching that type of clarity. But any questions from the audience to Helen and about perhaps some of the initiatives? I don't see any questions at the moment from here. Maybe something from online, just to check. And while we're checking that, just one question from my side. In some way, when we look at less advanced cities and counties and communities, often it feels those topics of digital twins, data spaces, it feels really far away for the reality, what the communities feel on the ground. And of course, this is a journey. It's not one fits all right away, very quick implementations to get that far, what has been outlined as well. But really starting this journey is important here. Maybe like from your personal view as well, what is your expectation and actually perhaps also recommendation towards some of those less advanced cities and communities to actually take those first steps to start moving forward?
Yeah, I think that the first thing to do is to join one of these smart community network events to make you more aware of what's there, because you don't have to do everything by yourself or start from scratch. It might feel overwhelming if you look at this journey, and that there's so many steps to take, and there's a lot of investments that needs to be made, not only in your own time and resources, but really actually finding budget for doing things. But it's important to reach out because there are people out there that have done exactly the same journey that you might be embarking on, and there's help to be found, and there's very good examples of best practices as well to be found. And what we try to do here is really to gather that information and make it available to you and more easily digestible, because it is hard to find information in the information jungle out there. So this is really for you. Living in EU is one of the places, I think, which is a good entry door to knock on. There we try to gather now this information, and that will provide you to other places where perhaps more advanced information and cities in the same place can be found. And of course, these events we do today is not the only place where you can find this information. There are also other events, I'm sure, in Estonia and around Europe that you can join. we try to do it once a year also in the Smart Communities event in Barcelona, where a lot of this information actually is gathered. If you have a chance to go there, I think it's also a great place to start.
Very good. And maybe one, let's say, add-on or follow-up from my side is just that often when we talk about those digital technologies, it almost feels like we should all just go ahead with those. But in the end, the value actually comes out from the actual application area. You mentioned also many of the problems that communities share, like really heavy rainfall or some of the energy problems, etc. So also just learning from each other's and how others deal with the same challenge is really valuable. And I don't know if you have any examples to bring for some of the maybe use cases also, what you've been noticing out there, just to bring some examples from the use case areas as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's very important, as you say, to start from the use cases. This is why the approach we're taking in these projects that we support are often pilot-based. So we try to find cities that have a real problem, because often with technology where you get excited and you go very far in like what can the technology do, but you have to start from what the problem is. So it's super important to start from there. And if you have a problem, you can be sure that other cities has the same problem. Some of the things that we've seen a lot about is about traffic, improving mobility in services in different ways, using perhaps mobility as a service solutions, or other also addressing congestion, looking at ways of improving paths for bikers and also walkers around cities in an optimal way. And you can also use these more advanced digital tools to balance different scenarios against each other. Better mobility, improving air pollution. This is a lot where we see the use cases emerging for the moment, but I'm sure that we will see a lot more around energy and water coming forward, because these are problems that we also see being being worse with the climate change that we are facing. So this is very much going hand in hand, I think, with the evolution in climate and energy that are the big drivers.
Thank you so much. Well, let's give a big round of applause for Helen.
Thank you so much for your interest, and hope you will have a great day today. I'm sure of it.